Hello, everyone. We want to take this opportunity to say thank you. As you grow at the Golden Boot, so do our needs, but we cannot do it without you. We ask that you continue to like our posts, share our content, and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, and other social media platforms. You may also visit thegoldenboot.com for the latest merch. If you would like to make a financial donation, you can do so through Cash App at @GoldenBoot or through PayPal at paypal.me/GoldenBoot. We look forward to bringing you more laughs, knowledge, and entertainment. And again, thank you for your endless support. Sincerely and respectfully, the Golden Boot team.
The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole.
Y'all ready to get rolling? Quiet on the set. Hey, welcome back to another edition of the Golden Boot. It's your boy Poop Al. We got Ant, birthday boy Petty Murphy in the building. We got Daniel D. Williams in the building. And
Yo,
Ant, do you prefer the Stevie Wonder version or the traditional?
It don't matter, man.
All right, Daniel, go ahead and bust it out for us.
happy birthday to you.
My bad. Something happened. I don't know what happened.
Bro,
I don't
you
know
had
what-
me muted, bro.
Nobody muted you.
I was singing.
Oh man, I don't know what happened.
I appreciate the effort, Dan. It's the thought that counts.
Man, bro, this technology, man, be tripping. Golly, nah, man. What's good, fellas? Hope y'all having a good evening.
I can't see.
You said you can't see?
You get me? No.
Yeah,
I said I can't see.
Oh,
No, we know he can't see. That's why he got them helpers wrong.
but Ryan come in and said, y'all really making Ant work on his birthday? Nah, he chose to be here, man.
Nah, yeah, they ain't make me do nothing, man. You know, I wanted to come kick it with the boys and y'all, man.
For sure.
So, Miss Nikki chimes in, says, "Happy birthday, Ant. What's up, family?"
Appreciate
Hey,
it.
cousin Nikki. I know you'll be you should be here soon. Picking up y'all batch of oysters and dropping off another package.
Making a swap, huh?
Yeah, making a swap. Yeah. But
Is it an even exchange?
Depending on who you ask.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
I bet Mr. Lorenzo, like I'm getting the winning hand on this one, you know.
Yeah. Sure. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. Demario Tolan enters the transfer portal. This was a surprise. It was, at least to me, it was a huge surprise. I expected him to be the heir apparent filling in for Baskerville next year. In that middle alongside Greg Penn. I could be wrong on who else would have been there, but what I saw from Demario Tolan this year was very impressive. Outside of Harold Perkins, he was probably the next best freshman linebacker we had. Nothing against Weeks. Weeks flashed, showed the good things, but Tolan just it was something about him. He looked really good out there. So y'all thoughts?
No, I agree, man. The first time I seen number 32 on the field, I was like, who is that? You know, and he was just flying around the football. And I know, Pooh Bear, you've been high on him all season, all last football season. And it definitely caught me by surprise, man, because I honestly felt like kind of like what you said. I thought he was going to be next up. You know, he was rangy. It's been a while since we had a super duper athletic linebacker. So it kind of sucks. But I mean, hey, it's still time. Hopefully we can change his mind.
Yeah. I think what hurts the most to me is you're already kind of thin at linebacker. You know, that was already a position where we said it's a lot of question marks next year because of who you're losing. You know, in Baskerville, Mike Jones. I know Mike Jones really didn't play a lot, but just the depth. So,
There you go.
yeah, I think that's what really hurts to me the most is you're losing depth at a key position that already had a lot of questions. And I know we haven't seen him a lot, but like y'all said, he showed a lot of flashes and a lot of potential. And we all felt like he was gonna make that next jump whenever he got the opportunity. So kind of sucks that we don't get to see it, or it doesn't look like we're gonna get to see it. So I kind of hope he does change his mind. But I think he was visiting Auburn or already has visited Auburn. So don't look like he's gonna be back in the fold.
But why? I just don't understand why. You know, isn't he from Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, if he goes to Auburn, it's like, why? Why would you go to Florida? I mean, why would you go to?
I mean, it's closer for sure, but I mean, I'm not gonna say it was a homesick issue whenever you're not going
back home.
Florida.
Yeah,
But
right.
it is closer.
I mean,
it is
technically it's closer, but how close?
It ain't much closer.
Yeah.
We're talking a few hours, so it ain't. But I don't know. And I mean, it could be a appreciate all the birthday wishes. Appreciate y'all. But it could be a thing where he's looking at Pert and what he was able to do as a kind of standout freshman than some of the people we got coming in next year's class. I mean, I mean, you got Braithwaite, you got Weeks, but I mean, I'm not saying it's a competition issue, but I don't really know what it could be.
Yeah, I don't know. Can't.
Yeah.
Then you okay? I didn't know if you were frozen or not.
Yeah, he froze. He in the portal, like total.
I'm froze. Oh man.
No, you good, man. Go ahead.
Can you see me? Okay.
Yeah.
Now I was gonna say for me, I mean, he's the best. You know, if I'm at house, unless it's something that we don't know about, I'm trying to bring him back.
I mean, I ain't gonna say he's the best. I think he's up there though. I think he's up there. Yeah. He's got potential to be the best, but I mean, there's got to be something that we don't know about. That's the reason why he decided to do it. So
true. That's true.
Yeah. But fellas, we talked after. No, we haven't. This is the first episode since the bowl game.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the first. So during the bowl game, we had a great showing by all three quarterbacks. Got in. Jaden came out
for Malik Neighbors.
Oh, right.
He looked the best out of all of them.
So, hey, how about this? Back-to-back years, we've had a wide receiver throw at least one touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she do it a lot more in season.
Yeah. Matt House. Denbrock was definitely in his bag.
Oh yeah, sure.
He was definitely in his bag. But Jaden came out. The first drive wasn't that good, but led a excellent drive. The second drive, then came in Nuss, who came in and flashed everything that we thought, or want to see out of him, and looked good. Then Jaden came back in and ran things, and then Nuss came back in, did well. And then we finally get to see Walker Howard for a whole fourth quarter. Yeah. And it was when he took off. Mm-hmm. And it was great. So what do we expect from this quarterback room? If you're in the quarterback room, what do you do?
Let me say this first. I would say competition brings out the best in most people, especially if you're competitive. And I don't know if people were paying attention because this is our first discussion after the LSU game, but it just seemed like after Nuss came out, did what he did, Jaden stayed in the pocket, and Jaden looked great throwing the ball, in my opinion. He did he didn't do too bad on those first drives. But anyway, if I'm one of those in that QB room, is either how good do you be? Competition makes you better. The weapons that that are going to be at my disposal, they're going to make me look good. Even if I play 1 year, I have an opportunity to really go out and put up some good numbers in this offense. So it's, do I want to play right now, get developed, watch what to do, what not to do, or do I kind of want to go and get some in-game experience at another school where I'm not going to be surrounded with as much talent?
So what would you do?
I'm staying. I'm staying.
I'm
just that's just me. I mean, I'm competitive.
If I'm a quarterback in the system, I'm staying.
Yep.
I feel like we've seen quarterbacks get drafted just off 1 year. Mac Jones was the first round pick just off 1 year. And I know somebody, if Chris isn't watching, he's going to come in and say Mac Jones is trash. That has nothing to do with whether or not, you get drafted. And that's the ultimate goal, is getting drafted. And so I feel like if you all it takes is one.
I can name you 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's multiple, but I'm just saying,
least.
But we've seen it happen in the past. So all it takes is 1 year. So even if you aren't going to be the guy next year, all it takes is your 1 year, your junior year, your senior year, whatever it is, and you can be a first round pick, high second round pick, whatever the case. So I like you said, I think you start, because I think all of them bring something else out of the other one. I think, like you mentioned, Jaden kind of became more of a pocket passer after he saw what Nuss did on his first drive. But then Nuss started being a little more conservative and not, I'm not going to say conservative. He started being a little smarter with the ball and not just taking risks, but taking what the defense gave him more as the game went on. And, after he saw Jaden be a little more, careful with the football. So I think
they fed off each other.
Yeah, exactly. And that kind of brings the best out of each other, iron sharpening iron in a sense. And then you got Walker, who gets the best of both worlds and gets to soak it in from both of them, and Ricky Collins as well. You know what I mean? So I feel like they all should stay and kind of keep pushing each other to get better where the other one is stronger at.
Yeah. And then I look at it, honestly, the QB position in football is literally probably one of the only positions, if not the only position, where you can literally go out and perform 1 year and get drafted pretty high.
It's not the only one, but yeah, it's the because I mean, all it takes is 1 year for you to show that you're capable of leading the team.
Right.
Yeah. I like what Dave said here. Dave, you also gave me a compliment up top, man. I appreciate it. Which he says here, focus on getting better. Don't worry about the next cat, because that's when you start to press and make mistakes. Completely agree.
That's a good point.
If I'm in the quarterback room, it don't matter. I'm QB1 anyway. So I'm just kidding. But seriously, I do think, so you stick it out, fight through it, work through it. Nuss is in a position where he's kind of stuck between what's currently hot and the heir apparent. Yeah. And so I think that's why everybody always points to Nuss as saying he's going to be the one who leaves.
But I feel like Nuss also is the type of guy who's like, I'm gonna get a chance, and when I get the chance, I'll make the most of it, and I'm gonna make the coach feel like we gotta find a way to get this guy on the field.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's what happened in the bowl prep. I think Nuss was just that good in bowl prep, with Jaden coming off an injury, to where they were like, look, we got to get this dude some reps. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Yeah. For those y'all in the chat, again, as we say every week, every show, thank y'all for being here with us. You could be anywhere in the world. Also ask that you do us a favor, like, subscribe, share with friends. As we grow our brand, we hope y'all grow with us too. Fellas, and those in the chat, I would like for y'all to chime in with this one too. Bad takes you've heard this season. Beginning of the season, midway through the season, this summer.
Can it be from fans, or is it strictly from
anywhere?
Media. Okay.
Anywhere.
Let me go first before one of y'all steal.
Go ahead.
Miami was going undefeated.
That wasn't what mine was going to be. LSU made
the worst take ever.
LSU made a mistake picking Brian Kelly over Billy Napier.
Like it.
LSU won't win another game. They going 3-9.
Oh yeah, that was a terrible take. That I forgot about that. After we lost to Florida State, we're going 3-9. We're not going. Yeah, that was a terrible take.
Some more.
But Arkansas?
No. Here's a good one. Yeah, BK can't recruit. That is a great
Facts.
one.
I forgot about this one.
I forgot about that one too. Desmond
Howard picking A&M to win it all. I forgot about
that. Here's one that we heard, and it's funny. It's a two-part. Why are we bringing in Jaden? All he does is throw deep balls. He can't throw intermediate routes.
Yeah.
A few games, you know what I'm saying?
That is
midway through the season. Why doesn't Jaden throw deep ball routes? All he does is throw across the middle. All he does is check it down. He can't throw over 20 yards.
Appreciate the birthday wishes, y'all. The wide receivers hate Jaden Daniels. They don't get along. There's some kind of beef between them. All that. I mean, then you see the celebrations and the interactions on the sideline throughout the season, and that couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah. Even the recent one, Boutte left because of Jaden.
Yeah, that one too.
If we want to go recent, Boutte leaving because he got caught up in a sex party with six other coaches, and you'll see it's gonna be three coaches get fired after Tuesday.
Yeah. That was wild.
Anybody got fired? Anyway, yeah, that was one. That was another one.
LSU 4-8.
Yeah, Russ Mitchell said.
My bad.
Said, Russ Wilson said LSU 4-8. Somebody else said 5-7 too.
Shout out to that was Preston.
Yeah, what's good, Preston?
Yeah, what's happening, bro? Oh, my boy Holden said this one's funny.
Brandon J. Yeah, that was.
Hey, I remember those times in Twitter Spaces, man. That was wild times, brother.
Hey, last summer Twitter Spaces was
wild times.
Yes,
wild times.
It's great. Man, listen, we've heard them all. I'm definitely looking forward to some more. But yeah, they gonna come. So let's talk about this.
Hey, hold on. I would be remiss to say it's kind of a more recent one, but it's not a shot at you more so me, but Denver Harris won't be at a LSU Tiger.
That is true. That is true.
That's when I gotta eat some credit.
Yeah, definitely. All right, fellas. LSU moments. Favorite LSU moments from this season. James.
Obviously beating Bama.
Rushing the field.
Obviously, that beating Bama. That's obviously one. Let's see. Beating Florida. That's always a great memory. Anytime you beat Florida, that's a great memory. Harold Perkins game versus Arkansas was a great memory.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Although it was a loss, the comeback in the fourth quarter against Florida State.
Yeah,
that's true. That was a hell of a comeback. That 99-yard drive was, man, that's
one to remember. So,
hey, if he makes that field goal, bro, that's, man, hey.
Okay, I got one. It's not on the field. It's an off the field moment.
Oh Lord,
one of my favorite moments. Miss Jackson coming up talking space, and the media people just going quiet.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that one.
That was a fun one.
You know, I'll say this. Not an LSU moment, but a moment for us. The Alabama game, the pregame. Yeah, that was pretty dope. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That tee.
Getting lifted. Actually, you know what's funny, though? I literally just threw that tee out.
Threw it out?
Yeah. I tried to wait, dog. I tried to wait, son. And I wasn't drinking no more of it because I got lit.
Why you didn't drink it?
It was a lot.
But yeah,
that was fun, bro. Roasting Glenn Gilbo after Florida.
Yes, that was nice. I think that was a collective one that the entire fan base.
If I want to talk about bad takes, I know this is kind of going back, but that reminds me, Preston, Nick Diaz, all the stuff he was saying about about Jaden and stuff in comparison to, you know, I rescind, you know, then I would say, hey, I rescind my statements about Dennis and, you know, about Jaden and all that. So yeah,
That's
that
a
is a good one.
That's a
Heck
good one,
yeah.
Josh.
That was a
That
good
was
one.
a good one.
That was a good one.
The
That was a
tailgate,
lot of people.
the halftime performance. Hey, if you want to do bad memories, leaving the LSU Southern game.
What?
Leaving the LSU Southern game was
Everybody left at
moment.
one time, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Bro.
Literally.
It was harder to leave that game than any game we went to this year, bro.
Yeah, it's terrible.
All right, now let me ask y'all something. Favorite non-LSU game from this season?
I was thinking about this. I'm gonna go with Michigan, Ohio State for one. I'm gonna go with TCU Baylor. The one where they ran the kick. Yeah. Boy,
Hold up.
That dude funny.
Yeah.
That dude funny, man. Hey,
Preston. Preston say all your
man.
live shows were bad takes.
hey,
crazy.
but on the serious note,
Yeah,
he had a lot of them.
For sure.
But that was one for me. Appalachian State beating A&M. Middle Tennessee beating Miami.
I would say TCU beating Michigan last week was probably
that
one
was
of
a
my
good
favorite because a lot of people was counting them out.
If we're gonna
You know
do that,
what I'm
then Tulane over USC. If we're gonna go there,
Tulane over Kansas State.
Yeah, that was a big one early in the season.
Vanderbilt
beating Florida, Tennessee, Bama. Yeah, them some good ones that coming out the comment section. Preston say Tennessee, Bama. Andrew said Vanderbilt beating Florida. I said South Carolina beating Clemson.
Yeah. Back to back weeks.
Yeah, Tennessee
and then Clemson. Yeah,
I say another. Even though this one didn't turn out in a win, FAMU giving UNC all they could week one, and then UNC turning around in App State the following week.
Yeah,
that was a wild.
And then FAMU did it with half their dang roster.
Yeah, and what was the game that App State won off the little tip?
I was just finna say App State Troy. That was
it.
Yeah. So that was one of my favorites. I'm trying to think, man. That might be all I can think of. I guess that it goes to say, man, this season, I mean, we got one more game left, but this football season has been one to remember. It's been one for the ages, and
let me ask you,
I truly enjoyed it.
Random question.
ULL. My bad. I had to throw that one in there.
No, you good. Random question. Best player y'all watched this season?
Best player?
Best player.
Ooh. That's tough, man. So many different positions.
Right. I'm gonna sound like a homer. Harold Perkins.
He up there for sure.
Yep.
I gotta put Blake Corum up there from Michigan. The way he was able to do. Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yes. Stud. The hometown kid too. I don't know why. Lindsey Scott.
Yeah.
Lindsey Scott was awesome to watch.
Speaking of best nine. Incarnate Word, Sacramento State.
Yeah, that was a real good game.
That went in late into the night, midnight.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a great one, actually.
Precious. he owned one tonight.
That dude's super.
Mm-hmm.
But
Pressure, I wouldn't know. He blocked me. I ain't even. Yeah, he blocked me.
Best player. All right, so defensively, I'll give it to Harold Perkins. But offensively, I gotta go. That's tough. I'd probably go with Blake Corum offensively.
I like some of the things. I like Caleb Williams in spots.
I'm
Caleb Williams. But see, I was trying to not to go quarterback because quarterback is so.
I got two. Both of them quarterbacks. Hendon Hooker, Drake May.
Yeah, those are very good ones.
Yeah,
can't take anything away from them. I was thinking more like offensive player of the year, you know, and that usually goes to a non-quarterback. So I guess I was taking. But if you're going quarterbacks, you can't go wrong with them two, Caleb Williams, Max Dugan. I mean, you can't. CJ Bryce, obviously, but
right. Well, now I went. No, you know what? Jamil Gibbs.
He had a hell of a year.
Yes, he did from Alabama.
Yeah,
kid is special.
So is he the best running back in the country?
Bro. Yes, my opinion. I'll take him over anybody.
I don't know about that though.
All purpose too?
bro.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll
Robinson
take him over anybody.
Over Bijan Robinson, I'll probably take him over Bijan.
I don't know about that, man.
I don't.
Man,
No, he's
know.
Alvin Kamara,
Man.
a smaller Alvin Kamara, bro.
You can line him up in the slot. He ran kickoffs back.
Yep.
Oh, I forgot about Judkins.
Yep.
That's another one. But man,
Yeah.
Bijan Robinson could do everything Gibbs can do, bro. Everything, and he fast.
I like Gibbs,
But
man. And then he did it.
But I put
Gibbs a dog. Don't get me wrong, but
I get what you're saying. But the only reason why I say Gibbs, you knew Gibbs was getting the ball. I literally sat there with Daniel and said, you knew it was a formation. True. When Alabama liners, I said they're going to give it to Gibbs. I said I don't know if it's a run. But I don't know if it's a pass. I don't know which side he get, but he getting the ball when they go in his formation.
And the ball coming from arguably the ball coming from 9 though, arguably the best in the country though. So that helps.
Yeah.
I mean, he ain't got.
They literally it was just them two.
I'm saying, but if you give Robinson Bryce Young, he'll be doing the exact same thing. He got Mullet Man Quinn Ewers.
Yeah.
All right. Like we, saying we got one game left. TCU and Georgia. Fellas, in your opinion, TCU have a chance?
Yep. I'll leave it at that. We'll break it down Sunday, but yep, they do.
Yep. Okay. All right. I'm actually taking TCU. I'm just saying. So, if Georgia wins, are they a dynasty?
They're at the beginning stages. Because the dynasty, is 3, right?
Not necessarily. They've been in it every year, just about.
So what's
at least in the argument?
I was looking at Preston and Pressure arguing in the comments. But what was the question?
if Georgia wins, are they a dynasty?
Yes. I think so. I mean, and you gotta look at it.
They gotta get one more.
I mean, well, first of all, I'm gonna say it like this: who's the last team to go back to back?
Alabama and
a decade ago,
13.
Yeah, a decade ago,
or 11, 12, however you want to look at it. Yeah,
ain't been done. And then before that, it was. I ain't even gonna count USC because they give one of them to 03 and they ain't winning 03. Right. So
I mean, have you ever had a three-peat?
But this isn't a three-peat though. This is a
no. I'm asking. Like,
you have
because
if I'm not mistaken,
it's very rare. Yeah,
the Oklahoma when they went on the 44 game win streak, they had the three-peat.
Yeah,
back in.
Honestly, I'll take it back. If they win this one, I agree.
If they win back to back, to me, you're a dynasty. And in this day and age of college football, if you win back to back, you're a dynasty.
That's true because it's hard. That's tough.
And
I'm not. It's not even so much a how many did you win? They are there
every year.
Every year. Mm-hmm. Right. They're consistent.
Yeah.
And that's what Alabama was for so long.
Exactly. And but not just that. If Clemson was a dynasty, whenever they was under, people were saying they were a dynasty because they went to 3 and 1, 2 or whatever. There's no different.
That's a good take also, Ryan. He said, but they have to win one more. That is true.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But which matters more, national championships or conference championships?
Of course, national championships.
Technically, if TCU win, they're not even a Big 12.
They're not the Big 12 champion.
That's true.
Yeah. So, if Georgia loses, does this mean it? Does this take away from?
Nope, not to me, because of what we just said. They there every year. You know what I mean? Like,
and they'll probably be there next year.
They won't, unless they going against.
You think Tennessee will be there instead?
I need to see it.
No, it'll be LSU.
I need to see what their quarterback is.
I'm talking about at least with a chance to get
they have a chance. Yeah. They have a chance because the East ain't that great. But
right.
Yeah. Now I know this next question might seem a little weird, but if Sonny Dykes takes TCU and wins in his first year at TCU, does this put more pressure on Jimbo Fisher, seeing that they're both Texas teams?
It puts pressure on Jimbo Fisher and Steve Sarkisian.
I don't know about Sark so much because Sark ain't getting paid what $95 million.
Yeah, I think it puts pressure on Sark just because they're the biggest school in Texas.
Okay.
They're the biggest brand in Texas.
Okay, I give you that. I was thinking somewhat more of the expectations of the
I'm
recruiting
with you.
class that Texas A&M has brought in and what he's done with it.
He make it
Let me
house.
flip it. Let me flip it. If he wins the national championship, does this change the expectations in the way we look at Brian Kelly, Lincoln Riley, and other first-year coaches? If he was able to win the national championship in his first year, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think so. Not in my opinion.
I don't think so.
Just because of the conference.
I was going to say with the conference, but you had because you had this is the way I look at it. You had Brian Kelly competing for a conference championship in his first year.
With a rebuilt roster.
With a rebuilt, same with Lincoln.
So Lincoln. Okay, now, what about Cristobal?
Now there were your Cristobal and Napier.
Yeah.
And which, granted, Napier is in a harder conference with the SEC, but he's on the
I would
east
dial
side.
it down on Napier a little bit.
Why?
But Cristobal, he'll get all my smoke.
Why so much dial down on Napier?
Napier wasn't in that bad of a situation. I mean, he inherited what a lot of people thought would be a first round pick at quarterback.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, also he didn't. The guy who was there before him didn't recruit. You know
and
what I'm saying?
the guy who was in Miami was recruiting. Manny Diaz was recruiting.
What a lot of blame in Miami for their issues goes to Manny Diaz. That's what, at least according to Miami fans.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's tough. It's tough.
I mean, I give you the fact that the SEC is tougher. I'll give you that. But I'll say this. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I forgot about him. Venerables said Brent had a rebuild at Oklahoma and Florida.
And that's a better comparison because they're in the same conference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like first year David Randall was COVID. But first real season David Randall went to New Year's 6.
But let me ask
real season Sonny Dykes playoff. First real season Brent Venables get blown out
6-6.
But
by
you
Florida
take
State.
I mean, I know Caleb Williams wasn't at Oklahoma when Venables started, but if he would have had
Venables brought in one of the best quarterbacks in the portal last year in Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
Because Dylan Gabriel was familiar with who he hired as offensive coordinator in Jeff Lebby. Jeff Lebby was one of the best offensive coordinator candidates on the market last year. So it ain't because of his staff or the quarterback he brought in and nothing like that. Now you can say the injuries, sure, but injuries happen to everybody.
True.
Yeah. All right. So now next question. Can TCU we see what they're doing in the portal. We see what they're doing on the recruiting trails. You think they got another run in them next year?
Yep.
I don't know. I gotta see who they replace Dugan with.
If they replace him,
that's the most important position.
Let me say this.
Don't you do it. Don't do it. No. Don't do it. I already know where you're finna go. No.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
No.
I want to.
No.
It's interesting.
No.
I'll leave it be.
There's no need to even throw that hypothetical situation out there and have people entertaining a hypothetical situation. We just saw how hypothetical, or not, I ain't gonna say we just saw how people making up stuff can grow legs and blow up. Let's not even do it, dog. Let's talk about this though. Let's talk about Petrino to Texas A&M.
Okay. All right, because I forgot to put this in here. I forgot to put that one in there. Petrino to Texas A&M. Horrible PR move. Excellent on the field football move.
I agree.
It's a horrible PR move right now, but if it works out, it's not.
No. Well, it's just because of his history.
Yeah.
Because it's to be fair, the motorcycle wreck with the mistress on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got situations where, I'm not comparing it to the Art Brow scenes because that's different. That's a different level. But in comparison, it's Art Brow's is not. I don't want to say that. I'll leave it alone. Either way, it's bad. Bad move for off the field reasons, but on the field, it's a great pickup.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Mhm.
So, PR wise, it's a bad move because Bobby Petrino was caught with his mistress on a motorcycle and had a wreck.
If that's what you want to believe.
I mean, I don't know what to believe. I'm just at that's what came out.
That's the story that came out.
That's the story that came out. Correct. Yeah.
But I mean, people have done a lot more. I'm not saying that's right. Trust me, I'm not saying it's right morally, but people have done a lot. You had coaches. We just talked about a coach a couple weeks ago getting his players to send him explicit pictures. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like how big of a PR move is it? I mean, you had some coaches.
Yeah, that was Atlanta Falcons.
Leaving Atlanta Falcons by leaving a letter in the locker room.
He's had some shady stuff, basically. All around.
I ain't know about that. But yeah, I mean, look, Hugh Freeze just got the Auburn job. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and there was a bad PR move. They caught a lot of flack for it.
For sure. But I think, I just think Petrino served his time. It's like he served his time. Hugh Freeze, I like Hugh Freeze, but he didn't have to sit and wait as long as Bobby Petrino did.
That's because Bobby Petrino had a longer list of things that he's done in his career than Hugh Freeze. There's some other things that happened that besides just the motorcycle incident. But I'll say this: I think it's a good hire on the field. I think their philosophies are very kind of similar, but Petrino is a better play caller. I think the problem is I don't know how their personalities are going to mesh.
Say that. Were they butt heads?
Yes. Oh, they're going to butt heads. They're polar opposites. Like they're not going to get along at all. And to me, I think that's going to be the key, because what happens if they lose a game and people start questioning the offense? You know what I mean? Like that dynamic is what is the interesting thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jimbo's Achilles heel has always been his offense recently. Preston been a bad play caller.
Yeah, Preston talked about that. On the road, he's a horrible play caller. At home, he's a great play caller. I don't get it, but yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah.
But now let's move on to a story that's kind of captivated the nation. You can almost say the world since Monday. For those of you who don't know, the Buffalo Bills and Cincinnati Bengals were in the first quarter of their game, a pivotal game, fight for first place, basically, in the AFC on Monday. Damar Hamlin made a tackle on T. Higgins, stood up, and then collapsed on the field. EMTs were, rushing in. Medical staff came in. He was given CPR on the field. He was also given the AED, which is the defibrillator, to restart his heart on the field, and then taken off. Both teams went to the locker room. The game was eventually postponed, and as of today, the game NFL announced that the game has been ruled a no contest. It will not be made up. It will not be played, and they will work out the seeding and everything else possibly this weekend, because playoffs start next week. So they'll work that out, so talking with the owners and stuff. Latest update, Damar Hamlin is in communications now. He opened his eyes today. His breathing is better. They said it looks like he has lost no cognitive functions. And also his respiratory is in good health. And he looks to make a full recovery. The first thing he asked was, "Did we win?" He asked in writing.
That's dope. Yeah. No, I mean, and definitely prayers to him. And I couldn't imagine like being a player, going playing football game. Hey, he be passed away. You know,
Yeah, you in the portal, bro.
that's
Yeah, then you got real bad signal issues.
still bad.
Just move your forehead a little bit.
And you got real bad connectivity. Damn.
Can you hear me now?
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. But yeah, I mean, it'll be tough. But my thing is, I don't know if you guys seen the guy Gary Bush. He came out and he was just talking about how, you know, that kid is never able to play another down in the NFL. You know, will the NFL actually take care of him? That should be the main storyline in this piece. You know,
I don't think that should be the main storyline. I think that should be a storyline. I think the main storyline should be his health and recovery.
of course.
First and foremost, I think that's the only thing that's really important. I think he isn't eligible for a pension yet because he hasn't reached the service time limit to be eligible for a pension. So it would be the NFLPA and the NFL coming to some kind of agreement.
They have just on that, they did announce that while he is in recovery, that the NFL did say that they will be sticking by him and make sure and take care of financially to help him in that recovery. So that at least answers that question. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. It's as far as I just think it's
two elements to it.
Yeah, it's
because you got the sports side of things, and then you got the human side where you care about the football side, but you're more concerned about his health.
Yeah, I don't really care about the football side. Yeah, I think the football side, like that's what, like to everybody who was saying, "Oh, they got to make this game up. It's too important for the player."
They
like,
don't.
I don't care about all that. Like the NFL is a $1 billion organization for a reason. They can figure that stuff out, man. They can figure out what were they gonna do in the COVID year when they was gonna have to cancel games. You know what I mean? Whatever they was gonna do then, they can apply that to this situation. So I just feel like the people who were worried about the game being made up and all that, they was insensitive is not even the word that I even want to. It's beyond that to me.
It's heartless.
Honestly, bro, I feel like it's almost dehumanizing to a certain extent. That you would be more worried. That you would be more worried about like whether or not the playoff seeding is fair to everybody than whether or not this man his health is okay.
I'm glad you said that.
Go ahead, bro.
I'm glad you said that. Do you remember episode 2 when we had the conversation about mental health and about players and stuff like that, and we talked about how these athletes are just looked at entertainment, and the human side is not looked at, because we had this conversation way back then.
61 gladiators.
Yeah, 61 episodes ago. We talked about how it was the guy Michael played basketball. Michael, I keep want to say Michael.
Oh, Michael Beasley.
Michael Beasley. I keep want to say Michael Easley. It's the light skin.
Michael.
Yeah, man. Mike Beasley was talking about
on the Pivot,
on the Pivot podcast. When you go to, he's like, people never call him and ask him to go to a party or ask him about stuff, but when it was time for a basketball game, they were like, "Hey, well, Mike, hit up Mike." So brings me to this, and I'm glad you said that about how it's dehumanizing stuff. You look at these bodies of these athletes, and you look at them as just what can you do athletically versus, you know what I'm saying, the time and stuff it takes to put in for these persons to get there, and the human side of things. They have emotions, they have everyday problems, they have, this stuff pops up. So I'm so glad you, but go ahead.
I think we've been it's the nature of football, right? Like what's the mantra that we've heard our entire life? Next man up. You know what I mean? So it's almost like we have been conditioned to just discard the injured person to the side and replace them with the next able body and keep the train moving. You know what I mean? And so whenever you're conditioned to next man up, like Booger McFarland, Ryan Clark was saying, like in practice, somebody get hurt, you move the ball 10 yards up the field and you keep moving. You know what I mean? Like there's no regard to the humanity of the player. It's all about what we got to do, play the game, next down, and whatever we got to do to get to the next down. Whoever we got to bring in another body, we're going to do that. And so we've been conditioned to dehumanize the player and look at them as just a cog in the machine. And if it messes up, take that one out and replace it with the next part and keep the machine moving.
Right. I mean, that's true. Then also, even as a player, I mean, you have the mindset of I'm a gladiator. You know what I'm saying? You go on the field and people say all the time, man, I down the field for y'all boys. People used to always say that, but when you really think about that, like, dude, are you for real?
Yeah,
like, no, I wouldn't. I would not. I love y'all, but I would not die for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, definitely.
It's especially like, this man, Hamlin, he has a mother. He has a father. I don't know if he has kids or not, but if he does, like, guys, that's gonna be another Super Bowl next year. It is. The playoffs.
It's another game Sunday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if this man was to pass away, there's no more Damar Hamlin. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta bring him back. So, if that was your family member, if that was your son, how would you feel? I think people forget that they need to put themselves in somebody else's shoes and look at it from somebody else's point of view. Empathy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's very rare these days. So I just think it's ridiculous.
I think we just got to get ourselves out of the mindset that these aren't machines. You know what I mean? Like this isn't one giant machine that you just you swapping parts out. You know what I mean? Like these are humans.
For sure.
Yeah. So with that being said, the night of, let me see if I, because I don't want to mess it up. Skip Bayless, the night of,
here we go.
Yeah. Because I want to make sure I get his words right.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to think.
And, while you're looking that up, this Obed brings up another point, like that, and that's the mentality of
that's
some
part
guys.
of the problem, though. That's part of the problem.
Yeah, yeah. Like if you're listening, he said this Obed chatted in. I read a graphic today that said when he woke up, he asked in writing who won the game. That was his first concern. Like.
Yeah, and I get it. Like, right. you want to, you worried about your team and make want to know if they won and all that. But at the same time, that's part of what I'm saying. We've been conditioned to be more worried about whether or not the game went on and the results of the game than how you are and how your health is. You know what I'm saying? Sure. It's all about, I don't care if my leg broke. You know what I mean? At least we won, or whatever the case may be. I don't care if I got a concussion. I'll be all right. We won. You know what I mean? Like, and it's backwards, you know what I mean? Yeah. But we've been conditioned to think that that's the way it should be.
All right, here we go. Because I want to make sure I'm not taking his words out of context, and we're not blamed for that. So Skip Bayless wrote on Monday night, no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of the game, but how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. I'll
go first.
Go ahead. All
right. Can you pull the tweet back up?
Oh, yeah. Shoot. Hold on.
All right. Because, I understand what he was trying to say. I'm gonna make that be clear first. I ain't finna say it 30 times like I did on HBCU hour, but I understand what he was trying to say. Okay, but we're talking about a man who has over 40 years experience in media. He started off in print media. He started off in newspaper, so he knows the importance of words and the importance of putting them in a certain order and all. He knows the importance of that. So you say, no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game, but how? That could come off more than one way. That could come off as, how are they considering postponing this game, or how are they going to postpone this game considering how late it is in the season? That comes off of two different ways. So first of all, you're not clear and concise with what you're trying to say. Then you talk about the importance of how important this game is to the regular season outcome, playoff, and all that, which once again isn't saying anything about. It's not clear. Are you saying how, because this game is so important, how are they going to do it, or why are they trying? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're still not being clear here. What suddenly seems so irrelevant. The word "seems" is what I want to. It doesn't seem irrelevant. It doesn't appear to be irrelevant. The man is laying out getting CPR. It is irrelevant. You know what I mean? Like, so my whole thing about this tweet, I know what he was trying to say, and I don't think he had any ill intentions, but my thing is, he was insensitive in the way he worded this tweet. And as somebody who has 46 years of experience in media and making a career off words, he knew better, bro. He worded that like he would say it on his show, and that's like saying it for shock value and trying to set up a take and all that kind of stuff, man. Like, and this ain't the time for that, bro. He worded it terribly, and that's my biggest thing, is he knows better, bro.
I would say, honestly, read the room, man. Read the room.
That's another thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, your social awareness. Like, honestly, if he would have waited to tweet this the next day, I think it would have been not taken as bad. I don't think it would have been taken as bad as it was.
That's true too. That's
true. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you said. I mean, he sent that out for shock value. You know, like, read the room, man.
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Then I think the bad part. Then he came back and tried to clean it up a little bit.
Yeah,
and double down on it.
Double down on it. Yeah,
and double down on it. And then Shannon Sharp didn't do the show on Tuesday.
Yeah,
but came back Wednesday and explained why. And Skip doubled down on that. And it was
when he said, "I'm not gonna delete it because I stand by the words in the tweet." Like, come on, bro.
Right.
Like, at this point, you're just trying to be, you know what I'm saying?
Being a jerk.
He's trying to be contrarian. You know what I'm saying? At this point.
Yeah. We did, Preston. He said, "Did y'all see Shannon Sharp eyeing him down? That was some serious tension." Yeah, it is.
That's real. That's real. That's not for TV stuff, bro. That's real.
Yeah, Skip been being disrespectful for Shannon for a couple months now.
Yeah.
Shannon, go get them gloves.
You mad because you had to retire at 35. You know, like all that kind of, man.
Yeah. Now let's look at some of the insensitive comments by others. Bart Scott, first one that comes to mind, because Andrew Martin puts it in here. He basically was blaming T. Higgins for the hit the following morning, basically saying that the way T. Higgins
lowered his head,
hit him in the chest was the reason why. Bart Scott, you literally called for Baltimore Ravens to go out and injure Joe Burrow last year because you felt like he was showboating, and his comments after the current defensive coordinator for Baltimore was, you know what I'm saying, for lack of a better word, you know what I'm saying, basically was talking shit to Joe, and Joe came back and talked it back and backed it up. Yeah. You were calling for him to be hurt. Now you sit there and you make a comment on the show saying that this player is to be blamed for another, when the first thing T. Higgins, report came out today. First of all, kudos to the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals for putting aside any of the competition, the competitiveness. They've both been for being human. Zach Taylor's wife has been leading like some kind of toy drive for kids to send stuff to Damar Hamlin and his, stuff. Fans for Bill Mafia, Who Dey Nation have been contributing to Damar Hamlin's GoFundMe. He had a goal of $2,500. That thing's at like $3 million last I checked.
It was at $5 million. It was at $4.5 million. Yeah.
And so there you go. And so you making comments like that, and for people who Monday night we got, saying one of the same people who were sitting there saying about I'm not gonna say no names. Please, Daniel, you know who it is, so don't say names. Because you
I want to say
but
go ahead.
But for you to say, oh damn, I was waiting on this game to finish so I can hit my bet.
Yeah, bro.
I was just about to say there's a dude who worked for ESPN named Leonardo Pagnotti. I don't really care how you say his name, honestly. But he said, "Hey NFL, let's continue this game. You don't see games paused with other injuries. Bills, Bengals. I got a parlay to win."
That's crazy.
And then he quote tweeted that and said, "This is what they signed up for. It's legally in their contract. Let's continue playing this football game." Sir, no one signs up to get CPR on the field, to have to receive
No one
CPR.
signs up to die on the field.
No one
bro.
signs up to get shocked on the field, bro. Like that's the inhumane stuff that we're talking about, bro. And people who are saying, "Oh, I got parlays, and now I bet now you won't compare yourself to soldiers." You know what I'm saying? All that kind of like, bro, this
It's
is
so
not the time
stupid,
for all
bro.
that. And then the people who are trying to make it political, talking about vaccines and all that, bro, like you need help, bro. Honestly, like this is someone's life that we're talking about. And you want to politicize it.
Right. But you know what? There were a lot of terrible people making terrible comments and being inhumane. But I do have to shout out. I think his name. Of course, his name is Dan. I know that, but Dan Orlowski, I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Like, man, him actually saying a prayer on ESPN, that was touching.
Kudos.
You know what I'm
to him
saying,
for that, bro.
That was touching, bro. And
respect, bro. He was unapologetic too, bro.
Yes,
like I respect him for that, man. For real.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, and I was it's no, I don't even have to ask this question. The NFL made the right choice of not resuming the game.
Yes.
And even not rescheduling it. Excellent job by the NFL. Fine, I ain't gonna say finally. I don't want to take anything away from them, but you made the right choice. Yep. You did what you were supposed to do. Protect your assets, protect your players. Show them
no choice.
Compassion.
Yeah. You can't. If they would have tried to play this game, bro, like they would have got crucified. I don't see how you can't sit up here and say, in the name of player safety, we're doing everything we can in player safety,
targeted and all that,
and then try to fit 2 games in 10 days or 8 days or what, you know what I mean, or whatever the case was. Well, actually, it's less than that. It would have been like 6 days, 2 games in 6 days or whatever. Like you can't do that to people, bro. Yeah. And I'm just glad that they actually didn't care about the quote unquote fairness to the rest of the team. You know what I'm saying? All that. And they did what was right by these 2 teams, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I also wanted, for all the people who said that it took a long time to make a decision on whether they should end the game that night. Like, I mean, this is the first time this has happened.
I don't think it's so. I put it like this. I think it took a long time for the news to circulate, but I think that was done. The players went in the locker room. They were coming out.
They weren't playing no matter what.
They was coming out in towels and all. Yeah, they weren't playing.
They weren't talking. The coaches were talking to each other. The officials were there. I don't think the decision was. I think it was more or less of, hey, this is what we're going to do. These are your next steps. I think that was what was rolling on.
An action plan.
Yeah. I think that phone call between the coaches and the league office was them more so telling the league office, hey, this is what we're about to do. We about to pack up. We about to leave. They about to do, you know what I mean? We'll talk about rescheduling if they want to, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. But I don't think that there was any talks of playing that game that night.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. With this though, we've seen several injuries happen. For us being LSU fans, the Purdue player got hurt, was carted off the field during the bowl game. Then we had the situation with Damar Hamlin. We've seen other just injuries and stuff that just atrocious. Does this second, give you second thoughts about your kids playing football? But
if I'm being honest, flag football, no. Tackle football, yes. I mean, it's honestly, it's something. Football changed my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it gave me an opportunity to play with some great guys, and just took me away from the environment that I was in and gave me an opportunity to go to college. So I'm forever grateful for the sport, and I love the sport. You know what I'm saying? But the effects that it could possibly have on you, and it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder, man, because of course they don't know much about CTE, and I'm glad they're actually trying to figure out, what's going on. But I mean, all these players over the last couple of years that have committed suicide, and people had no idea, and then the concussions and the things that can happen later down the line, I don't know, it makes you think, I think I'm gonna let my son play baseball if he wants to.
I'll say this. I was always hesitant, I guess is the word I'm looking for, about my son playing tackle football, especially at a young age. I said junior high was probably whenever I was gonna let him, start playing tackle football. But at this point, man, I'm not gonna push it on him at all, bro. I'm gonna actually try to steer him away from it in all honesty. And I know you can get hurt in any sport. And I don't want to hear that. Like, I know that, but the fact of the matter is, you don't get those type of hits in any sport except football. You know what I mean? Consistently, yes. That's
every play. Like, if you're a lineman,
like they compare. Every play to being in a car wreck, bro. They don't compare that to any other sport except for maybe UFC, MMA, combat sports like that.
Right.
But so I'm not gonna tell him he can't play, but I am gonna try to just steer him, to basketball, baseball, soccer, and some of those other sports that are less impactful to the detriment of his, mental and neurological health.
They make more money anyways.
All right.
To a certain extent, yeah.
So Dylan, y'all know Dylan plays. He does not this was actually his last year of flag football when we're doing tackle next year. I understand, we know the risks and stuff. And his older brother, who plays high school, we made the decision and we told him, 3 concussions and you're done.
Yeah.
A significant injury and because he also runs track. There are other things we can do. With Dylan, I look at it the same way, and I may even say, hey, 2 concussions and you're done. Career, we're not going to be, we're not gonna, put you and subject you to that, because if anybody knows, the story of Aaron Hernandez, when they did his autopsy, they said his TCE had advanced to that of a 40-year-old man or something like that. It was crazy.
One of the worst cases of CTE they've ever seen.
And that could be the reason for the violence or the stuff he was doing. So with that being said, I'm not going to stop him from playing. If he ever came and said, I don't want to play football, I want to do something else, of course we're gonna support it 100%. I'm not going to stop him from playing. I am going to explain the risk and show him and teach him all the risks. Because shoot, I even during for flag football, I had to do as a coach, I had to do a concussion protocol test and stuff like that, as far as learning about this and stuff. So yeah, you definitely okay, there was 80. Said Aaron Hernandez brain was like that of an 80.
That's crazy.
Age 80, yeah, because of all the hits and stuff.
But
yeah, I'm definitely, like I said, I'm make myself aware, educate myself, help him out, and go from there.
I say this too, though. If my son decides to play, he's not playing for any league, any school, anything that doesn't have somebody who is trained in head injuries. We're not finna be playing in one of these park, wrecks, and they send a nurse practitioner out there to try to tell them, or no disrespect to no nurse practitioners or nothing, but I want somebody who's trained in diagnosing head injuries.
I'll tell you another thing. I'm also not going to do this. Now, this I will put my foot down on. We can play other sports in the off season, football off season. We're not doing football year round. We're not doing the travel football stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
it makes sense. I'm gonna say this too. Don't force your kids to play sports. You know what I'm saying? Like if your kid likes music, if your kids likes reading, if they like watching anime, playing video games, let them do what they love. Yeah, exactly. Like, man, everybody don't have to play sports, man.
Musicians go to college for free too.
Facts.
Sure.
Hey, artists too. You get art scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
now when you
my
get there,
I said, baby,
you gonna
be
study
a doctor, be a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. You now I put it like this: he can go to school on whatever kind of scholarship he want to play the piano or whatever. But I tell you what, you are not finna be no music major. I'm definitely putting my
you got to get a little business. You got a little business.
You
got your mind.
You're gonna have to do something.
You can have a minor in music.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Hey, but what if they the next P Diddy?
Okay,
P.
cool.
Diddy, you got to have a business background to be the next P. Diddy.
You're right about that. You're right about that.
I bet he better learn how to walk and go get that cheesecake.
And don't drop it. Don't drop it.
Y'all remember Dave Chappelle? Breast milk. You make my day.
Because I spit hot fire.
All right.
Dylan.
All right. We can wrap up here, fellas. Basketball. Men's basketball team on Tuesday took on Kentucky in Lexington. Rupp Arena. Thoughts on the team's performance overall? Not the breakdown. Not the breakdown. Dang, did you watch? I don't know if you got a chance to watch or not.
I watched a little bit of it, but I watched a little bit of it, but I was just impressed. Honestly, I wasn't expecting for them to actually play with Kentucky, just because of the talent, supposedly the talent gap. You know what I'm saying? But coaching, man,
that's very true.
Coaching, wow, man, it's awesome.
Completely agree. I was that first of all, plus 10 and a half, money, easy money. LSU stayed in the game. They never looked rattled, even when they got down. There is a talent gap, but there was scheme there to overcome it. So I completely agree, man. Look, I like the product that Coach McMahon is putting out with the players he has. Now, I don't want to say they no slouch, man. I'm from the read. I ain't saying the players he got is saying slouches, but saying he do got he has talent that is he got mid-major talent performing at it's all D1. He had a
major blue blood,
at a blue blood, almost blue blood. I ain't gonna
level,
level, So I'll go there.
Sure.
All right. I kind of echo some of y'all sentiments. The effort was
guru.
I'm not no guru. The effort was nice. They played real hard, and
that's so condescending. It was nice.
They never really were out of the game at any point. They never let the game get out of reach. My problem is the mistakes that we made are mistakes that you would think a veteran team wouldn't be making. Not blocking out, just turning around and watching the ball when the shots go up. You got KJ down there fighting for himself against the best rebounder in the country, and nobody else is down there helping him. You have, I think 3 or 4 times I counted whenever you got the ball at the rim and you turn the ball over trying to kick it out to the 3-point line. You traveled once through 2 bad passes on that, especially whenever it's Hannibal, because Hannibal at the rim is such a good finisher because he's got such great touch, but he's so big, for his size that he's gonna draw contact and he's gonna live at the free throw line if he just takes those shots instead of trying to force the ball back out to the perimeter. Defense, man, we gotta communicate better on defense. They kept topping on the nail and they was able to get that high-low action, and then it was 2-on-1, 3-on-2 whenever he got the ball at the mid post. So that they just kept killing us with the same thing whenever we went in zone. And then we went in man. They was shooting the ball so good in the first half. We went zone, and then they killed us with Toppin. I mean, you gotta tip your hat to him. You know, he had a career night. Those nights are gonna happen. You just gotta, give it to the best man that night. He was the better man that night than what we had on the court. But I think we got to start being a little smarter and stop making some of those careless mental mistakes. And we'll be in every game this year. I don't think there's any game where we're gonna get blown out just because of the way McMahon coaches and the way we play defense. But we just got to not make mental mistakes, because if you don't make mental mistakes, you win that game.
Yeah. Mid-season report. I mean, I guess technically it's not mid-season, but we're approaching that. Matt McMahon so far this season.
I give him an A+.
Okay.
I mean, if I would have told you we would have had 2 losses at this point, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have believed you. I mean,
beat Arkansas and play Kentucky tough.
Yeah, facts. I would have, I mean, like, I don't think nobody saw this team being here at this point in the season. I don't even think Matt McMahon saw this team being here. I mean, the dude took over here, had no scholarship players. I mean, we keep saying it, and so
it's like LSU in football.
Yeah. It's worse. He had it worse.
Yeah. I'll say this. Adam Miller has struggled from 3. He found a rhythm in the Kentucky game, and he hit some big threes in that game. I still want to see him a little bit more inside. But I
wanted to see him on that last shot instead of KJ.
That's true.
I still feel like you put Adam on this corner and run him with the baseline with Hannibal coming down and kick it in the corner to Adam. Just the same thing you pretty much did with KJ, but let KJ set the screen for Adam. But I don't know. I think this team for sure is going to be a team that we're not going to win the SEC. I don't think we're going to be in the top 4 or nothing like, but we're going to be a team that nobody in the SEC wants to play. And that's going to give everybody hell in the SEC tournament. And even in the NCAA tournament, we're going to be a team that nobody really wants to see. If we can get Hill playing at the level that I think he's capable of playing, we'll be a scary team.
Yeah.
Agreed. Next upcoming game is Texas A&M. Texas A&M beat Florida last night in what was started off as a blowout for Texas A&M, beating the brakes off Florida. Florida came back, made it close. Texas A&M is 9-4 on the season, if I'm not mistaken. 9-5 on the season. Excuse me. Thoughts on this game? They still coached by what's the dude? Buzz
Williams.
Buzz Williams, yeah. So.
Yeah, I think this is almost, I don't want to say must win, but it's a game you got to have pretty much. If you look at your upcoming 5-6 games, I feel like this is one you got to have. You got Florida at home after this, but then you got Arkansas, Alabama, Tennessee, and someone else in that next 4-game stretch after that, which is not going to be easy. So, I mean, I feel like these ones, you got to win those quote unquote gimme games. It was just like football. You know what I mean? You got to win those gimme games because those tough games are going to be toss-ups.
Here we go. I'm finna tell you the next 4. You got Texas A&M, Florida, Alabama at Alabama, Auburn at home, and Tennessee at home.
Yeah.
We got break.
So that's a tough little stretch.
Yeah. Then you go to Arkansas. Yeah, so you literally got Texas A&M, Florida. Then you play number 7, number 22, number 8, number 13.
That's what I'm saying. You got to win these next 2 games because the 4 after that there's gonna be. I'm not gonna say we can't win, but they're not gonna be ones you look at and count as W's before just looking at the schedule.
Yeah. All right. Last thing before we wrap up, LSU women's basketball. Right now, they are beating Texas A&M.
Smash.
Yeah, it is. It's like 47-20 something. I'm waiting on my thing to refresh.
Quite disappointed also.
Is it 34?
No, it was like 40. It was like 45 when I
what's y'all
49-21.
Yeah.
All right, 49-21 in third quarter. Is this that? Well, they're still undefeated, 14-0. Looks like they're gonna end up being 15-0. Could this be the year?
I've been saying it. You know, I think the true test comes February 12th. They play South Carolina. I think that's that lets you know right there what his ladies basketball team is and this women's program. But my thing is they undefeated. You don't hear nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very quiet. They're quiet, undefeated LSU basketball team right now, which is nuts to me.
Yeah.
Like I mean, Kim Mulkey, she doing her thing, man. She really is.
Yeah, I think they definitely. I think they can. I'm not gonna say they can't. They definitely can. I don't think it's likely. But I think that they're like one piece away. And that piece just so happened to be living in Shreveport right now. But that piece will be there soon though.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I think Angel Reese is huge pickup. Huge, massive pickup for LSU. And I think that kind of helps with Aaliyah Boston, but I just don't know if you got the firepower to go with the rest of South Carolina just yet.
So, the one thing I do love about women's basketball, you got them 4 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So next year you got Reese, Flage, and Michaela next year. That's why I keep saying next year, just because of that triple-headed monster. Like that's it's ridiculous, bro.
So be great. All right, fellas, we got anything before we get up out of here? Anything we forgot?
Yeah, Nick with that little breaking news
comment.
So Chuck put up a comment. It was long. I wasn't gonna read.
I know it one, but I think that's really good.
It's a great comment. It says, "My father had to tell some men almost 30 years back, working with a Save Our Sons program, not to limit guys only to sports, which those guys were pushing. Which father, as a longtime musician who played trumpet in the marching band at Grambling in the early to mid 60s and professionally, told those guys that all those boys may not be interested in sport, which they could be musicians, dancers, writers, scientists, etc."
Yeah, that's facts.
For sure.
So, that's facts.
All right. And Nick put up. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Breaking news in the NFL: Cincinnati and Baltimore play this weekend. If Baltimore wins, then there'll be a tie, if I'm not mistaken, and so they'll determine who is if Baltimore wins, then they'll play each other in the wild card round. Those two teams will play each other, and so they'll determine who's home field in that wild card matchup by a coin flip.
Yeah.
I would be pissed.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I understand, because of circumstances, stuff like this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Hey, didn't this happen in Friday Night Lights? Like
something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a coin flip or something like that.
Yeah.
Hey, Dylan, he said you don't know the
math. That's funny. What he writing, though?
He writing something. He trying to say, oh, it's hard to see. He said 2023 is here.
Oh, I thought that said Zion for MVP. My bad.
Ant said he thought that said Zion for MVP. He said no.
I thought that was some kind of geometry.
I'm about to wrap up.
Yeah, problem or something.
Huh? How you spell Daniel? DAN.
That's funny.
IEL.
GOAT.
Whoa.
Uh-oh, what happened?
They just did the coin flip. The Bengals are the Bengals are the AFC North champions.
Oh wow.
Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow.
And
That's all I gotta say. Hey, if God is not on that man's side, he ain't on nobody's side. Build the statue.
it's on the. All right, he got another one. It say Daniel don't know his mouth.
So Nick had mentioned something in the show earlier about this.
Your daddy
about the
told
eighth
you to write
playoff-
that.
No, I didn't.
about the 8th playoff team possibly
Yeah.
in the NFL. Adam Schefter report the NFL never considered an 8th playoff team being added to each conference. So just to clear that up a little bit. You ain't got to worry about the Saints making the playoffs this year.
Good. Shoot. All right. Well, fellas, I guess we can get.
Oh, sorry.
All right. All right. I guess we can get ready to get up out of here. See y'all again on Sunday. We'll be back and we'll break down college football playoff then. The natty.
And don't get too lit tonight.
Yeah. Too late.
No promises.
Too late. Hey, if you need anything from Ant, save it for Sunday. Shit.
Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Don't be looking for me tonight.
No spaces tonight.
What you got? Huh?
Yeah, I might listen, but y'all don't want me talking.
Oh.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it, Dylan. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah. All right, fellas. Like that. Hold on. Before we do that, we got some new heat. So
drop the heat then.
All right. Now, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe on Twitter at Golden Boot. On Instagram at Golden Boot. On YouTube at The Golden Boot Pod. On Facebook at The Golden Boot Pod.